Heartbreak and devastation left behind by a hailstorm of fire bearing down on north central Washington. This morning, thousands have been forced from their homes, and the fire in Okanogan County is showing no signs of stopping as a perfect storm of fire conditions fuel the flames.
Mayor Condon, thanks for joining us. The last time Spokane reelected a mayor, Richard Nixon, was in the White House, and The Godfather, the original one, won the Oscar for Best Picture. That's got to feel great for you.
This root ball from two old pine trees here in front of Balboa Elementary completely lifted up this chunk of the sidewalk, and now as you look back over my right shoulder, you can see where those two trees went into the building just above the office area.
Bernie Sanders spoke to a packed house at the convention center last night. Volunteers estimate there were just shy of 10,000 people who showed up. Our Casey Lund was there as supporters cheered for their candidate, and Casey Sanders had an awfully busy day.
But when they arrived shortly after 2 o'clock, it was a much different scene. They found fully engulfed flames in both the home and an outbuilding, and during the firefight is when they found the bodies of 2 deceased people inside.
Are we noticing Will with the double hood?
Oh,
He's got 2 hoods on. Is he bundled up?
Double.
All right. Well, the Spokane Arena filled with folks ready to cheer on their team in the NCAA tournament this weekend.
Because the prices have gone up dramatically, forcing many fans to decide how much they're willing to pay for the chance to see the Seahawks win another Super Bowl.
Now, before Odom was captured in Washington, D.C., he made a bizarre Facebook post yesterday ranting about a Martian species here on Earth.
To see how the lifts work at elevation, I strapped on a harness and headed up. This 180-foot boom is Genie's flagship product. It's also the first of its kind in the world. These 2 gold billets might not look like a whole lot to you, but they're awfully heavy, and they're 99.99% pure 24-karat gold with a value of about $1 million. Stimson ships about 10 million feet of lumber out of this Priest River plant every month, and about 75% of that goes to Home Depot stores. And because Rick Shepard is a Gonzaga grad, they're used on his alma mater as well. 400 cameras, in fact, used for campus security.
At least 31 people now reported dead and more are injured.
Yeah, those attacks began with 2 explosions at the Brussels airport at around midnight our time, 8 a.m. local time. Belgium is now on the highest state of alert, and residents are being asked to stay inside and avoid public areas. All public transportation throughout Brussels has been shut down, and trains are not traveling to or from the city. There have been at least 3 blasts across the city, the 2 at the airport and 1 at a subway station. In your Voice Your Vote coverage, a big couple of days for politics in the Lilac City. Last night, Senator Bernie Sanders visited Spokane for a rally that drew thousands. More on that in just a minute. But first, former President Bill Clinton will be in town today to rally for his wife, Hillary, who's leading the Democratic field. Hillary previously came to Spokane back in 2008 when she was running against Barack Obama. The former president is scheduled to speak in the Spokane Falls Community College gym at 12:30. While there, Clinton will do his best to convince Washington voters to turn out for Hillary. Zags tried to make that 7 against Seton Hall, who came in as a 6 seed. GU taking over late in the first half. Domas Sabonis having his way underneath the big fella puts the Zags up 6 at 27-21. Pirates only semi-interested in playing defense. Nobody stops Eric McClellan on the drive. Zags up 10 at the break. Josh Perkins in his hometown, he gets it to go. That was his only bucket of the ball game, and Sabonis unstoppable on the big stage. He finished with 21 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. Gonzaga cruises into the second round with a 68-52 win. Next up, Utah in the round of 32 tomorrow. Firefighters are hoping the weather cooperates so they can get a handle on the rest. Now, when it comes to fire evacuations, level 1 is get ready, level 2 get set, and level 3 is go. But not everybody wants to leave their homes despite the danger. After fire quickly spread into Chelan Friday afternoon, sheriff's deputies and other emergency personnel fought to get residents out of their homes to safety. Deputies drove through neighborhoods announcing the level 3 evacuations on their PA systems. As the fire came closer, smoke filled the neighborhood, making the evacuation process even more difficult. But it was not just the fire conditions putting up a fight. Deputies had to forcefully remove some residents who were refusing to leave their homes. Good morning, Northwest. I'm Derek Deis. We begin this morning with team coverage of a wildfire in Okanogan County, leaving many people homeless and in shock. The devastating firestorm is burning in the towns of Pateros and Twisp. The Carlton complex is a series of fires, and this morning the town of Pateros is essentially gone, burned to the ground, and much of
of Brewster is now under a level 3 evacuation. KXLY4's John Hendricks, who's been working throughout the night, joins us now live this morning from the evacuation center in Chelan with the very latest. John.
KXLY4's Deis spoke to a homeowner whose house was nearly split in two while he was inside.
Well, we spent our morning in North Spokane with the damage from last night's windstorm pretty widespread, but perhaps no one has it worse than the homeowner here at Houston and Holyoke. This giant pine tree smashing right through the middle of his house.
It was about 6 o'clock last night, and I was laying on the floor stretching in the living room, which is just a little bit away from that tree, and all of a sudden that tree broke loose and came through the roof and scared me more than I wanted to be scared.
With extensive damage inside and outside of the home, Steve Lamp and his wife Teresa looked for a hotel room, but they were all booked up. Luckily, some neighbors put them up for the night. Now they're stuck hoping for the best from their insurance company.
I'm sure they'll take care of it all, but it's a mess inside.
And despite the mess, Steve knows it could have been much, much worse.
We're all safe. That's the best part.
It's a tough perspective to hold on to when your home is nearly split in two. In North Spokane, I'm Deis, KXLY4 News. It is insane. If you bought your tickets 2 weeks ago, you're in luck because the prices have gone up dramatically, forcing many fans to decide how much they're willing to pay for the chance to see the Seahawks win another Super Bowl. Seahawks fans flocked to the desert, some with tickets and some without, hoping to score a deal. But it's not going to happen. On the ticket website StubHub, you won't find a seat for less than $9,000. The most expensive, $22 grand. And hey, there's 6 of those seats left. But most everyone we talk to has a limit.
I was just like, nah, I wouldn't go past, $2 grand for a ticket, even if it's a nosebleed seat. But yeah, people want to see the repeat this year, so.
I go online, I see that I can get it for about $2 grand. I'm like, should I do it? My girlfriend's like, nah, we'll just watch it at home. And then I look at the TV and it's now going for 8. I'm like, I could have made a cool 12 million or 12,000, but oh well.
This father and son from Puyallup hit the jackpot, scoring $800 tickets in the Seahawks season ticket holder lottery, and they never considered cashing in.
No way. No way.
The only thought was, how are we going to get down there?
Yeah. And we're having to do it on the cheap because we couldn't afford things like that. We drove down. We're staying with friends. So that's the only way we could do it, and we're going to make some memories, man.
Yeah. These 24-year season ticket holders didn't win the lottery, but it didn't matter.
Right after the NFC Championship, which we attended, we got home, and I don't know what he was doing. I didn't know he was on the phone, and he goes, "Dear, what credit card do you want me to put this on?" I said, "What? $7,000.
Some diehards paid even more than that.
$4,600 a piece for 4 tickets.
That's $18,400 to see the Super Bowl live. But it's a bucket list item he can now check off the list.
A little more than I wanted to pay, but my Hawks are in the bowl. We're going to back-to-back this one, and so I'm caught up in it.
It's truly unbelievable, and no matter what your limit is or would be, there are a lot of fans excited just to be here, soaking it all in. And a lot of those fans in this bar behind me, the Skeptical Chemist. We'll tell you more about that coming up on KXLY4 News at 6. Live in Scottsdale, I'm Deis.